Solo e sogno all'orizzonte, manca le parole. Sì, lo so che non c'è luce in una stanza quando manca il sole. Se non ci sei tu con me, su le finestre, mostra a tutti il mio cuore che hai acceso. Chiudi dentro me la luce che hai incontrato per strada. Con te partirò, paesi che non ho mai veduto e vissuto con te. Adesso sì li vivrò con te, partirò su navi per mari che io so, non esistono più, con te io li vivrò. Sono solo e sogno all'orizzonte, manca le parole. E io sì lo so che sei con me, con me. Tu mia luna, tu sei qui con me. Mio sole, tu sei qui con me, con me, con me, con me. Con te.
that kind of thing is the sontoko, which is a Japanese style. It's not Japanese the knife, it's just the style. Basically it has a little bend over here. Okay? This one here, you can see it. Okay? The knife, you see the head? This one will help you to do this, the movement. Okay? So this is one of the best we use for slicing. This one I use as a multitasking, but usually not. Professionally, we don't do that. When you have to chop something finer, then you hold it here and you do this. You don't need the mezzaluna thing. You can do it with this one. Always when you scrape things out from the cutting board, always the back of the knife, never the blade. Try to always treat your knife like your wife. That's what we say in the kitchen. Okay? So avoid to put your index on it. Okay? I do this when I do something very precise, like deboning or removing the fat from the meat or the fish. When I slice, I never do this, but always this. Okay? It's like when you play tennis, the way you hold the racket has a few different positions. Same thing with the knife. Okay? Then your left hand is the most important one. When you have to slice or chop whatever, the technique we do in the kitchen is always bending a little bit the hand. Okay?
Claw.
Okay? Yeah, they're like a claw. To make sure that the last knuckle is pointed out. Okay? So you will press, whatever you want to say, the knife against these two knuckles. Okay? In this case, with the nail a little bit inside, in this case, you will never cut yourself. If you see it, you see this space? In that case, when I'm pressing is my two knuckles here, and then I go back and forward, I will never cut it myself. Even if the knife gets slippery, it will always protect you this. What is important to remember is the thumb. If the thumb pops out, you will chop it off. Always, the thumb we always use for pushing forward whatever I'm cutting, okay? Like this. Don't do this too much, it doesn't help, okay? Always slightly, okay? Perfect. So, onion, I'm holding the onion firmly. With a sharp knife, I'm gonna cut down like this. Has to be sharp, because the sharp means less pressure, and you won't cut yourself. If you do, Tom, can you pass me the bowl? If the knife is dull, you need more pressure, it might get slippery. Okay? Now we'll cut it in half like this from the stoke. I left the stoke on. Okay? This is very important. I will cut in half like this, following the lines. Is everything okay?
He always tells me to do that.
What do you mean?
I don't do it.
Okay, perfect. What do you do?
That's the whole end of it off.
Yeah. Okay. Depending what you do. If you have to slice, then yes. If not, then it's always the best way to leave it on. I'm going to remove the first layer of the onion, okay? And the stoke is on, you see? I'll do also the other one. To avoid cry, there are a few tricks. Trick number one, if you're wearing contact lens, you shouldn't cry, okay? If you have to do a lot of onion, like an onion soup, then I suggest you to fill up the bowl of water with a little bit of salt, a little bit of vinegar. You cut halves the onion, even not peeling, you just leave it inside for at least 10 minutes. Then you remove the skin, and then you can slice it. So what happens that the liquid will be dissolved into the water, so that will avoid to cry. But the best we do usually in the kitchen is wearing snorkeling mask. Now, in case I have to slice the onion, then I will cut off the stalk. You see? And when I slice, I always follow the lines. I never do against the line, because after cooking it doesn't look good. It's not something will change in taste of the flavor, but the looking. Okay? Eyes has to eat first. I will place my hands, my left hand, over the onion, try to have a nice and stable vegetable, bending a little bit the nail as I told you. In this case, I'm going to use only 2 fingers, and then I will hit with a knife my knuckle, and I will slice down. Your left hand will decide the thickness. Okay, thin, thick. Your left hand will measure. When you go at the end here, it's very unstable. In that case, you stop, you bend it over, and you will keep slicing it. Okay? See? Very, very simple. Okay? Perfect. That's sliced. When I want to chop, I'll leave the stalk on, because the stalk will hold together the onion. Perfect. You saw that. You can either do pointing, you will slice down. You go inside, pierce it in, and then you pull it to you, okay? The knife. Again, your left hand will decide. In this case, I'm using only the index, because it's a very small onion, okay? Then what you're gonna do? You're gonna make a cut in half. Still, leave always the stalk uncut. Then you will hold like this, and then you will dice the onion. Okay? You learned this technique or you didn't learn it? Kind of.
But I like watching again.
Why do you do the one underneath?
Because sometimes the arch is a little longer, that's why. If it's a big onion, you do a couple times, okay? Then you can keep going until you need it. Here, it's a little unstable, so you can rotate it. You can do a little more, and then you will chop it up. Yeah? Perfect. This one you can leave for the stock. Okie dokie. This is, for me, is diced. Okay? Chopped, when I mean chop, means very, very fine, like almost puree. Okay?
I thought it was the other way around.
Depending on the point of view. Carrots, the worst thing to cut in the kitchen. We make, we make two mistakes at home. One, it's very dangerous for anything, even a tomato is dangerous. Carrots peel, again, stalk. The reason I peel the carrots, if you cook it with the skin on, it will turn black. So I make a little handy, so I make it smaller. The first mistake you do, it's do this. This is very, very dangerous because if the knife is dull, it slips on the side, but it's not dull enough, it will slice yourself inside. So don't do that ever, not even on the tomatoes or tomatoes, okay? Never do this. Save the procedure, left hand on one side of the blade, remember that. Second mistake, if you have to chop a carrots or diced or cube, the second mistake we do is cut in half the carrots. That's a waste of time. The enemy you have in the kitchen is not the oven, but actually it's not the knife. It's the time. You have to do things faster, okay? Because the time is against you. So if you cut in half, that means double job. What we do usually in the kitchen, you press it down. Try to actually pull the carrots with your top fingers here against your thumb to keep it nice and steady. Then you will make a little slice. You see? Put it down so it's nice and stable. So it is not slippery anymore. Then you will keep slicing the carrots. Okay? Then you pile up. We'll create the matchsticks. Okay. Again here. And this one again. Put it together. And then we're gonna dice it. Okay? This is the faster way. This one is a large brunoise. Brunoise is between 1-3 millimeters. Okay? Okie dokie. Okay. If you don't remember, tell me. I will explain to you many times. You're gonna peel off the string. Then again, you make it smaller. You can either do halfway, and then you bang it. Okay. Then again, matchsticks. And then you will dice it. Okay? Perfect. If you ever see red and white. Okay. They are also red and white. The only things you have to do, you have to touch them. If they are very hard, that you try to squeeze them, they don't move, they mean they are unripe. If they are kind of softer or even shrink a little bit, even better, they look old to you but actually they are better, that means they are nice and ripe. Okay. If they're very hard, then you should buy a couple of days ahead. You put it with the apples, your fruit, outside of the fridge. Leave it there for a couple of days, and they will ripe because the fruit will release a natural gas to help to ripen other fruit or vegetables. It's something chemistry, chemical, whatever. Sensitive. By the way, when you walk around with a knife, please, never walk like this, okay? You're not yourself in the kitchen, only you, other people. Sometimes I'm walking like this and the tongue is stepping back and I will stop it. So to avoid that, make sure.
Was that on the waiver?
Yes, that's why you signed that.
All right.
Okay, always walk facing them down, never up, because if you fell down you might cut yourself. Always down, okay? And we should wear clothing shoes, okay? Very important that. But you signed yesterday the waiver form, but if you don't have a closing shoes, that's your problem, it's not my problem. A few months ago, I cut someone. I cut the lady. She was next to me, the knife dropped down, boom. She happens. I told you. Nothing happened. She said, no, don't eat. Sorry, it's my fault. I told you.
Put it in the stop.
Never catch the knife that is falling down. Never. Let it go down. Because if you catch it, you will cut yourself. Yeah. So that's why we're wearing
I
those
usually
shoes.
jump out of the way.
Yes. you shouldn't move. Scissors. Tom, would you mind the scissors? Thank you very much. Perfect. What we're going to do? I bake them, okay? For 40 minutes. Depending, sometimes there's a little sticky over things. Okay? Then what we're gonna do, once we do all the eggplants, so together, three of you, we'll do all together, peeling off the eggplants, okay? Aubergine slash eggplant, depending where you've done. You understand if I say eggplants? Yeah. Or brinjal. Brinjal. That's I think Indian. Indian, also South Africans, they say brinjal. We're gonna do this. Chop it up. Okay. If you see that your cutting board is slippery, piece of paper, wet a little bit in water, or you can spray the alcohol. We use often that. You find it always on the tables. It's a blue top. Blue top is always a spray after you clean. Make sure your station is always nice and clean. You clean up yourself. You have some blue, orange, green, yellow towel. There is also the red top spray. That's a detergent to clean the camera. You can spray that one, then you rinse it out with the cloth, and then you spray the alcohol. Sometimes this alcohol thing I do it with my hands. Okay? So what we're gonna do? I'm gonna take the colander in a bowl. I'm gonna push it in over the colander. The eggplants. Like this. We let drip the excess liquid. Then then we're going to use oil or pan coating, which is oil, it's mixed of oil. So the mold, very, very well. Daryl, very good, perfect. Then what we're going to do? We're going to do with the skin, we're going to cover all the mold, okay? When we're going to cook eggplants to your family, friends, or whatever, you say the word eggplant. In our mind, you picture the black color, the whole fruit. The most common and easy to farm are the black ones. So that's why you always find the black, maybe sometimes purple. So in our mind, when you say the word eggplant, you find that the black color. So if you don't do this job, and you serve all the eggplant brownish, then to your friend or family, it doesn't taste good, doesn't look good. So in their mind, you lose points, even if it's not good, because it tastes the same. It's a mind trick, so it's very important, okay? I don't. If you overlap, then it's a little problem, you run out of skin. Okay? But you know about this trick, so you won't lose points on this. We're going to wrap like this, completely. Okay? Then we're going to mix tripping. We have the eggs, we have capers and garlic, basil, we will pick up this outside. And then we'll make one portion for meat. And then we're gonna bake as the recipe tells you for 20 minutes. If not, serve it like upside down, so we see all the black. Sweet down there, yeah. Gnocchi team, gnocchi.
You know,
Main course, you got main course?
Alright.
3 of these, Ravi, Hampton, and Bar. Down there. Gnocchi team. Gnocchi team over there.
So we need
You are
shopping mall.
Where's your teammate? Tom and Daryl?
Yes.
Daryl down here, Daryl.
Okay.
Paula, did you give everything?
Yeah. The cream now.
Okay, the cream is coming. We have already 2 egg whites here for the wine. Sugar. Okay, for measuring the sugar.
Oh yeah.
4 ice creams.
Oh. Yeah.
Put it into the ice bag.
Oh right. Yes.
Yes,
Oh, that's yours, is it? Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Shall I do the garlic?
Yeah, that's for the sauce.
Mushroom. The roots we cut off, okay? This one not for stock. It's a fungus, okay? Twist it. Then this one we're gonna peel it. You can use a peeler or you just use a knife.
Because the outer edges are tougher.
Yeah, it's tougher. It's always full of dirt or whatever.
Okay.
It's a stem. This one. Slice.
We only have to whip up 2 more.
Matchsticks. Cube.
That's where that was
The head. If you see like a yellow greenish, like this one, remove it. If you see white, very hard, don't remove it. This is where the mushroom breathes, where it takes the nutrition. It's on the here, not from here. Okay? So when they're overripe, they get a little color. So we're gonna remove. Nail brush under the water, wet the nail brush, and gently you remove all the thing. Then we're gonna wipe it. Then you're gonna cut it in half, and then we're gonna slice it. Perfect. Let's see if it's boiling now. How you doing? You alright? Southwest. What about Southwest? One penny. Penny. The picnic came back.
They are,
One of the comes here.
Oh, really?
These are the and mom.
And then there's been a spin-off called Young Shell Young. Yeah, it's
Longer thick.
How many cables? 50 grams of cables. So it's 6. So we've times everything by
3.
Finish with that, yes.
How many do we need? At least you are 16, so at least only 16.
1.5.
Okay.
No, grazie Mario. Sì, sì.
Hey, shouldn't you be cooking? Oh, you're trying to make me a part of your crime.
Shoot it, yeah.
Susie, what are you eating?
And then at the end we're gonna add the parmesan rinds and the shark.
How come you're eating and we're still cooking?
We go from the cheese from the right to left.
No, from the left to right.
Okay, from the left. That's the creamy one? Yes. Okay. No, the creamy one. Yes, the white one.
This one?
Yes.
It is, yeah, I recognize it. It's beautiful.
Allora, il primo è stracchino.
Stracchino. The name of the first cheese which has this creamy texture is stracchino.
È un formaggio fatto con latte di mucca e viene lavorato in maniera molto morbida, che resti cremoso. Si chiama stracchino perché una volta veniva fatto con latte munto dagli animali alla fine della lattazione, prima dell'inverno praticamente. E rimaneva tutto cremoso perché si chiama stracchino da stanco in italiano, che vuol dire perché il latte era più stanco, perché gli animali prima dell'inverno il latte è più debole, fa proprio i legami più deboli della caseina.
Stracchino in Italian means tired. They call the cheese like this because in old times they used to do this cheese with the milk of the winter.
After the winter.
After the winter, where the animals finish the milking season. So the milk was different. And how they work out the milk is they leave it to have this creamy texture. Okay? Mattonella in Italian means style. They call it like this because the shape of the dish is square. You can see there. You see how the shape? Its shape is square. So they call it mattonella. It's a cow cheese. Once it is made, you see it's not that soft, it's more compact. Once it is made, they wash it with water and salt. And it makes one mold that is similar with the mold that you can find in the sea. So it's cracked, the mold has a pink color.
Poi il terzo, quello con le...
Okay? It's aged for about 5 months. They age it in old wine barrels and they cover it with walnut leaves. So the crust that you see above that is dark is the walnut leaf, like they aged like this. Okay?
Allora, poi per il signore che non hanno salumi c'è quello lì.
As we told you before, you see one picture here, this is a real picture from their farm, it's a told picture before. And the guy that you see is Giovanna's son. grigio because its color is red. Ok?
E c'è il capocollo che è fatto quello lì che sta mangiando il signore, che è fatto col collo del maiale.
Sì. One is capocollo, which is this part of the animal.
E il resto è il salame che è fatto con un misto di
Interestingly, we prefer to keep this kind of working life because to prove if eating the olive in the same days or if still in the modular region, two different kind of olive. Just go to the taste because I have no taste, their taste is different. But it's more important for the property, for the quality, for the characteristic organoleptic that the olive oil is good for our body. Ora, in my website, my Facebook page, there many videos when it's possible to see the show when my movie is working. But normally I want invite the people to come back in November because no words but smell and see. And you watch it, it's very, very simple. Ora, you might
Okay? Like this.
Crack to it.
Unfortunately, you got everything with the door. We're gonna be 6 one side, 6 the other side, okay? 2 of you on the pasta machine, which we already decide to move.
Oh.
Okay? So flour, round, keep always round, don't flip it, never flip it. We usually flip it, but because you're not so expert, it will dry out quickly if you keep flipping it. So we're gonna always use our body weight back and forward like this. When you get the long strip, you stop. Here, you see what happened here? It's sticking on the counter, on a rolling pin, sorry. So what I do, I stop immediately, flour. In case also it's also sticking on the counter, that I cannot move it, you see? Then I will take some of its flour and make sure that it's nice and slippery. Then rotate it 90 degrees. We're gonna do this. Back and forth again. I believe we're gonna have a dinner at 9 o'clock. I'm not kidding. It's okay, tomorrow you're off.
Tomorrow you are.
Almost using dinner time, Italian time, almost. Still early, but it's almost there. You see, bigger than my hands, slippery. In case it doesn't happen this. Cartucci around. So when it gets bigger in your hand, what we do? A little extra flour on top, like this. Starting from the bottom, roll it over the rolling pin. Then, remember, press down, do the back and forward, and try while you press it to stretch on the side of the rolling pin. Okay? Back and forward, fast. It actually is very simple. Okay? Then you rotate it, open up, you do the other half. Very good.
Stop coming back.
Rolling to the music.
Reggae.
Reggae rap.
Reggae rap, yeah.
I haven't seen this on television. Who's rolling from that pasta maker?
Really?
Yeah,
Who?
for ravioli. I've never seen them do this.
This is the old school. The best way.
Or like electricity.
I'm used to putting salt in my pasta. You put a little salt?
Yeah, you were not here, but you were riding sometimes. Barbara did it for you.
It's gonna be
Right, Barbara?
So there was half a teaspoon?
No, a pinch.
There was salt.
Remember, we have also salt into the filling.
Thank you, Barbara.
The pasta will be salty, the water from where we boil pasta. When it gets bigger like this, you can hang it over, and then you can do this. If you notice, I'm using less flour when it gets thinner. If the dough doesn't stick, you don't need any flour. But make sure you don't have a wrinkle. What is important, what happens usually? If it sticks on the counter, I try to stick it on the counter, you will see it's nice and thin. So, oh, I'm doing it. But it's not true, because as soon you're gonna hear it's slightly sticky. If I'm insisting, it will make a wrinkles. Because I try to lift it up, it shrinks back, it makes wrinkles. Okay? So we have to avoid that. Make sure when you see like a dark spot, you stop immediately, lift it up, dust the flour, the table with the flour. Okay? We're gonna keep doing this until we go a few millimeters. Okie dokie, wish you all the best. Marco, close it, we're going to check out.
We're gonna need so much purple.
Probably.
That's ready now. Just hold it, my dad. Good luck.
Well done, Nonna.
Not too much, but a little bit. Remember yesterday in your minestrone soup? It was this. Okay? We can freeze it, we can dry, whatever you want to do. How much we have? Still a lot? So I still have a lot, so we're not gonna use it. We're gonna fold it. We're gonna use it later on for ravioli, for noodles, for tagliatelle. This side here, I will cut again in half. Okay? Fold that one if you don't need it. We're gonna use later on. And I'm gonna use this one. Okay? I'm gonna make a sign halfway through. I will start to put a filling starting from the middle, going on my right hand side. I will remove the end over the filling. Okay? Finger space, at least the finger space from outside and halfway. I make a little walnut, or between a walnut and a hazelnut. Okay? Finger space, at least one finger. Okay? For what? No, I leave it there. It went off?
No, it's very brownish.
Okay, so let's remove it. It didn't ring?
2 more minutes. Then I wait a few minutes.
We're gonna brush all around the filling. Please remember, it's not Venice. Are you paying attention down there?
Yep. Not Venice.
We are not in Venice. So no flooding, just moist. What? Oh, number 5 or number 6. We're gonna take this one, we're gonna go over. You don't go like this, but you hold it. You patch it only in between the filling. Like this. This one, we do it because to avoid trap air. Most probably you would do, you put it down.
No, I didn't like that, but I still managed to get out.
Then you have to be careful.
Thank you, Chef.
If you do like that, then it shouldn't happen. Right, lots of air or just a bit?
Just a little bit, not a ton.
That's okay. They explode?
Some did, not all of them.
You know, when you go to war, some soldiers will die. So it's normal. You have some love.
I just need to do it more practice.
If you have a long nails, you do this. Okay?
C'était pour moi, pour elle dans la vie. Elle me l'a dit, l'a juré pour la vie. Dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens en moi mon